All right, we're continuing our week of weather starts. Today is rainy. Well, it's not actually rainy outside here, but our start today is rainy. And okay, well, I guess it's something. We could follow up with store. That's pretty good. New spot for the R. Some good letters. Okay, interesting. So, I mean, I'm thinking potentially we could be in the OER trap here, which is not great, but we've been here before. We know how to handle it. So there's a lot of possibilities here. There's Homer and mower and cower and power and lower and cover and lover. There's a lot with W. There's a lot with L. So I'm kind of thinking about going lower, just because if we, in some ways, it's kind of nice to get a gray on the L and the W because it eliminates a lot of possibilities, but it can also be good to find a letter. So I think I'm going to go with that. Although, there's also the theory of don't guess OER because then you're in the trap. But we've already got the O, E, and R as letters, so we can only check 2 consonants at a time anyways if we're doing hard mode. So I don't actually have hard mode turned on, but I like to try to follow hard mode as long as I can. So I'm going to go with lower. I think, okay, it is the OER trap. And we did get the grays, which I said is good, but, you know, it's always nice to find letters too. So, all right, so we've eliminated cower and power and mower and probably a few others. So what do we got left? We've got Homer is a possibility. We've got poker, Homer and poker. And I mean, I suppose Hoper would be a word. And it would also check for Homer and poker. What else is there? We've eliminated foyer. Cover is a possibility too. Cover's pretty good. We have eliminated lover though. But the thing I like about Hoper is it also checks for Homer and poker. For cover, I don't think there's any other ones with C or V that I'm thinking of. Hover. There is another V. Ooh. So hover could be good too. Because that would also check for cover and Homer. But then you're not checking the P or the K for poker, but doper, I suppose, could be a word. So, and dozer. Dozer as well. So, I'm kind of thinking, I kind of like hover, which checks also for Homer and cover. And if we don't get an H or a V, then doper isn't bad because that checks for doper. And the D for dozer. And the P for poker. Oh, we've also got boxer. Man, there's just too many possibilities. Boxer. I feel like I kind of like hover, and hopefully we'll get at this point. So it was nice to eliminate the W. At this point, I'm hoping to get an H or a V. Ooh, there's also hoper. Speaking of hoping, so if we get the H, there's 2 possibilities. I mean, assuming it's not hover. If there's the H though, then it's Homer and Hoper, I think. And I think that's it. So we'd still be okay. If we get the V, then I think it's got to be cover. If we don't get the H or the V, then you've got to worry about poker and boxer and doper and dozer. Oh no! I've completely... You know what I haven't thought of? Is we can have another... Oh no, we can't have another R. Well, we could. We can't have an R at the beginning. Okay, good. Whew, because we could have rover and roper and a bunch of things. But we could have an R here. So quarter is possible. So, I don't know. I don't know what the best way to go is. Oh, and coder. And comer. Like, all comers, yeah. Okay, there's just a lot of possibilities. Man, I was thinking hover, But there's a lot of C's, so now I'm leaning towards something with a C. Oh, mover. Mover. Okay, so there's hover and cover and mover. There's mower and mover. There's more V's than M's. So now maybe I'm leaning towards cover? Am I? I don't know. There's a lot of P's too. I think I'm going to go cover. I think, do I want the V, the M, or the P? I don't know. I can't decide. There's a lot of C's, but of course, okay. But there's a lot of C's, so maybe instead of the C, I should do like moper, which would then, if it is one starting with a C, it would eliminate a couple of the C possibilities, as well as like mover and poker and all those ones. Doper, homer. I mean, if they come up gray, then we've eliminated a lot, and we've eliminated several of them starting with a C. Because once we do the C, we have to use the C, so then we can only check one at a time. And it might not even have a C. It might not even have a C, but there are quite a few with a C, so. All right, enough thinking. I'm going with this. I'm set on this. Okay, well, was that good or bad? I'm not sure. Okay, well, we've eliminated poker. We've eliminated homer and mover. And, okay, so we've got, there's still boxer. And then with the C's, we've got cover and corer. Cover and corer. And boxer, and we still have joker. Borer also. So, ooh. Well, you know, borer isn't terrible, because it does check for the corer possibility. Now, the main problem is, see, I don't think there's a way I can get... I'd like to follow hard mode if possible, but I don't think I can cover all the possibilities because, well, cover, for example, can't cover all the possibilities. So borer, if it's boxer, we get the B. We got boxer, right? If it's borer, we're good. If it's corer, we've got the R, and we're good, because I think that's the only one with the O-R-E-R that we have left. The problem is if it's cover or joker, we're not going to know between those two. And coder. But if I do one of the COs, we've got cover, coder, and corer. I don't think there's any way to... I'm going to have to do a test word. There's just no way to check enough things. And I like to do hard mode, but I won't... I don't do hard mode to the expense of failing the puzzle, if that makes sense. I will have failed hard mode, but not failed the Wordle, I guess. So, what do I want to do? The trick is coming up with something that's going to check for everything or a lot of things. Birch seems decent. Is that good enough, though? It's got the B, it's got the R in the third spot, it's got the C... Oh, but the H, I'm not really worried about the H anymore, am I? No, I need the D or the V for coder versus cover. I mean, I'm assuming I'm not going to be able to do a J and a K, and that'll have to just kind of be... I don't find anything, it's got to be joker. I'm hoping I can get a B in there. All right, well, I can't think of anything that's going to cover all the possibilities, but... I can't remember. It would help if I could remember which ones have been answers before. And I can't, but I feel like cover has been. I feel like we had cover. I kind of feel like we had... I don't remember. I want to say we've had joker, but that I'm not confident on that at all. I don't think we've had boxer. We could have had coder. We could have had corer. I'm not really sure. I feel like we had cover. So I'm gonna have to. I can't cover everything. So I'm gonna have to just leave that one out, hoping that we've had it before. I think we have, and so so I want to do a C. I want to do the R third. I'm thinking I'm back to Birch again, actually. It checks for boxer. It checks for corer. It checks for, if we get the C and not the R, then I'm thinking coder. It's possible cover, but I'm thinking coder. And if I don't get the B, the R, or the C, I mean, it's going to be a yellow R for sure if it's not green. But if it's not a green R and I don't get the B or the C, then it's got to be Joker, I think. There's probably something else I'm missing. But Dozer is still a possibility. But, well, I do feel like we maybe had Joker before. I don't know. If I don't get anything, then I'm going to have a 50-50. I might be tempted to go Dozer. Joker's pretty good too, though. I don't know. I think I'm going to go Birch. I can't check for everything. I'm going to hope that gets us the right thing, basically. Let's go for it. Oh, it's horror. Okay. Wow. Well, definitely a few today. Close one. You know, you get the O and the ER traps. The ER traps are the tough ones. All right, well, you know, so now I kind of take back my statement of, oh, it's good if I get grays up here with the W, but in some ways it's good, but in some ways there's just so many possibilities. So many words with the O and the ER. All right, well, we escaped today, but narrowly. So let me know if it's rainy where you are, and of course, if you got stuck in the trap today or not, and either way, how your solve went, and be sure to subscribe for more.